Hello, colorful creators! Today we are going to be exploring the super fun medium of chalk pastels. This skill drill is not about making a frame-worthy finished product. It is simply about discovering something new. But something you should know about chalk pastels is that along with being a great medium to easily layer and correct mistakes, they're also a bit messy. So please take a moment to prepare your space. I recommend putting a plastic tablecloth down on the ground if you're on carpet and to draw on top of a hard surface such as a table or a countertop. Something that's easily wiped off would be awesome. After that, grab your chalk pastels, some paper, a few paper towels, and let's get ready to discover and be creative.
Hello, colorful creators! It's time to get started. Hopefully you have gathered up all of your supplies. We're gonna get going here. I have my black piece of paper and my oil pastel that I'm going to be starting to draw a line all the way that is moving and swirling throughout my page. So you can always start with a pencil as well for this sketch or the black oil pastel. It's totally up to you. So either do a pencil or the oil pastel, and I'm just going to do a continuous line. And what I mean by a continuous line is it doesn't stop. So if you notice, I just drew one big squirrely swirly line all throughout my page, and that loops all over throughout each other. So do that all over your page, and then I've added a couple more different little circle, half circle section lines throughout as well. So fill up your page with this little design, and yours does not have to look exactly like mine. Do not try to follow it exactly. You're gonna create your own swirly moving line here. Okay, after you have created that, you're gonna go in and start looking for a color palette. And so I've just selected two different colors here, a lighter blue and a darker blue. So I'm gonna be starting with the darker blue and just filling in one of those sections. So you can pick whatever colors you want. So these are just the colors that I've picked. So pick two of these colors here and then start filling in one of the little sections. So within our line, you've noticed that it kind of made some different little segments here, some different little areas. So little half circles, little shapes all around. So just go ahead and start filling those in. And then I'm just layering those on one over top of the other. And then using my finger to smooth them out. Okay, so you're just going to work around your page and start filling those in and using just some different techniques. Remember that we had practice in our skill drill practice video to help create a picture with lots of color and movement all around. So you can start selecting different color selections, color combinations as you're going. So I started with the blue one, and then I'm going to be selecting a orange yellow color combination here. So with that, I'm going to be picking a darker orange and a lighter orange, and going to be filling in this next bottom area right here, and just going back and forth and moving within the movement of that whole area. And so I'm using that darker one first and doing the top half, and then working down and then it's going to kind of fade into this lighter color. So I'm trying to create a dark to light effect. So you can do that if you would like. Just move within all of your different little sections, thinking of them as each individual areas. And layering your colors. So you can pick maybe your favorite colors within this. So just whatever colors that you would like and that look beautiful to you. And then I even have that really bright yellow down there at the bottom. So I'm going to be doing a fade, going from the dark to the light, fading into each other. And then tapping off any excess powder that may be there as well. And then I grabbed another color once I finished with that, and going to be going with this bright red color here and filling that in. So work at whatever speed you need. Once you finish in one little area, you're going to move to the next one. So obviously some of these areas are really big and some of them are smaller. So just work at the speed that you need to, fill those areas in, and then use your finger or maybe your paper towel or even a Q-tip to blend those in as you go too. So you're going to start layering that in, those different colors. Whenever we layer in these colors with the chalk pastels, it just gives a little bit more of an interesting look. It makes it kind of pop a little bit more and not be so flat on the page as well, and just gives a lot more color to it too. If you notice, I have very bright colors and they really kind of complement each other, this bright blue and this orange and then the red as well. And then within all of those, they go from dark to light as well too. And make sure that you are being careful while you're creating to not smudge anything or ruin your beautiful picture that you are working on. Okay, so I just have my paper towel, my Q-tip that I'm going to go through and start blending that section in of the orange. So if you have your Q-tips, make sure that you can go in and do that, or you can just use your finger. If not, if you have a napkin or paper towel, and maybe the section is just a little bit too small for your whole paper towel, you can always take the corner of your paper towel and twist it up to maybe a little bit of a point. And that way it's a little bit smaller, and work with that on blending in that area. So just work within filling different areas in and then blending them in as well. And with this picture, we're just going to have a lot of color, and it's going to be really fun and just a lot of movement going around and really kind of silly and lots of stuff happening within it. So, and I just have all of these dark to lights going on. So going from a darker pastel to a lighter pastel and just blending those into each other. So just remember, as you're creating, just have fun with it. You can create it exactly how you want to. You don't have to follow how I'm doing it perfectly. So these are just colors that I have picked out. You may not like green, so don't use green. So pick whichever colors out that you like and create something that you're really proud of. If you feel like you made a mistake, maybe like you put a color down and you don't really like it, or something doesn't look exactly how you hoped, or you think you messed up, don't worry, because there's always a way to fix something with art. So think creatively about maybe how you could fix it or change it. So you can always get a paper towel, and maybe you want to brush the color off. So you can take it and kind of brush it off like you would an eraser. Chalk pastels are very forgiving, which means that they can be used in different ways, and you can fix something if you feel like you've made a mistake. So don't worry if you feel like you've made a mistake, because most likely you can fix it. And so I'm just doing these different transitions, going from this dark green to a light green and then to a yellow. And then I like to blend all of those together. And kind of each one of these little areas is just like this really smooth, blended little kind of rainbow section. Very colorful and really fun. And then clean your fingers off as well whenever you blend between the colors. And as you're working, just remember to pick out your different colors that will be your dark to light transitions within each of your sections. So I grabbed a purple and pink here, and I'm going to be layering these ones over top. So this one is going to be this little section here of my paper, this little area. I'm going to be doing a little bit different of a technique. So I'm going to be adding some different just little swirls going around, just moving in kind of little short swirly curly motions going on all in this little area. So this is going to give a different look and create a different effect than the other areas where I did more of up and down long strokes going on. So whenever I go up and down and do like these really long smooth strokes, it's going to look very smooth. But with this area, doing all these different little curly sections, it's going to make it look like it has a little bit of a texture or a feeling, like you can feel it, that's going to be a little bit more maybe rough or up and down kind of going around. Like if I wanted to say draw a picture of a teddy bear, I would want to use this sort of a technique rather than doing a up and down more smooth technique, because teddy bears have very curly, fuzzy hair. And so this would be a good technique to create that kind of look. So that way I could almost kind of feel it without actually feeling a real teddy bear. And so this area, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be layering on that dark color and then putting that lighter color on over top. So you can use this different technique in different areas of your picture as well. So just find a different section that you want to do, pick out two different colors, so maybe a darker one and a lighter one, and then layer those colors on over top. Even if you wanted to do 3 different colors in that area, you totally can do that as well. So I like doing these different layers. Chalk pastels are really great for layering, and it's really fun to see the purple show through underneath the pink too. Okay, and I got my yellow here, just working in this little area. Like again, doing these really long back and forth strokes. And whenever I say these long back and forth strokes, that means I'm pushing down and drawing one stroke for a long time. I'm not doing little bitty tiny ones and picking up a bunch. I'm going for a long time, putting it down on the paper and going for a very long time before I pick up. And that helps to create a smoother look. And then I am going over and layering on over top with this orange color in a different direction. So with the yellow, I went one way, say left to right, side to side. And then with this orange, I kind of went top to bottom on it as well. So that just kind of, again, helps to create a different texture, a different look. So that way there's lots of fun, different things, lots of different movement going on within my picture here. So you can choose and decide to do whatever colors, whatever textures, whatever techniques you want to do within your picture. I want you to remember that it is your drawing. It's however you want to create it. You don't have to follow me exactly, but I'm here just to help you and show you a great and awesome way to create. But remember that your picture does not have to look like mine. So don't feel intimidated or worried if your picture doesn't look exactly like mine does. You are a unique individual. You are different than me. So that means we're going to create different pictures. And just because yours doesn't look like mine doesn't mean it isn't absolutely beautiful and a wonderful masterpiece. So I'm just going around again, doing these little swirly curly cues all in this area. I picked a dark blue this time. And just go through your picture and work at your own pace and your own speed. Maybe you need more time, and you can always pause the video and work a little bit more on a certain area. So I'm just going to go through and literally just do all of these different techniques over and over again, choosing different colors in all these different areas of my picture until I feel like it's finished. So work throughout your whole page, fill it up with lots of color, lots of fun movement, and use your chalk pastels to just fill up the whole picture. Make sure you remember also to have fun with it, to experiment, try out some different things. Art is to experience things and to create something new. So try something new. Maybe you were wondering, what would it look like if instead of doing 2 colors layered on, I layered 3 colors? Well, try it. You never know until you try it. So art is a great place to just experiment with some things and to just try it out. And you may try something and realize, wow, this is the best thing ever. And I'm so glad I tried it. Or you may try something and realize, I don't really like that very much. That's okay. So if you feel like you made a mistake, that's totally fine. Remember with art that you can always fix it. You can always transform it into something new. You just have to get creative sometimes. So maybe if you put a color down, like say if I was drawing with this green and I decided, I don't really like that green very much. I'm going to take my paper towel or maybe even an eraser from my pencil and just kind of erase it off and kind of brush it off. And then I can go over with a different color and layer a different color on over top of it. Maybe that I like better. So just remember that as you create, that nothing is permanent. You can always create something new and experiment with some different stuff, figure out what you like, and to not be afraid to make mistakes. It's totally okay if you make a mistake. You can always, again, like recover from it and still have an awesome masterpiece at the end of it, even if you made mistakes. So don't forget to use your Q-tips or maybe even your paper towel to kind of blend some of those areas in. And whenever we blend things in, it makes it just super smooth. Fills in all the little extra areas and to where there's no black from the paper showing through. You've probably already noticed as well that these chalk pastels are very smooth, like whenever you touch them and you blend them in on your paper. You might have also noticed too that they're pretty similar to something else that you might have created with before. Can you think of what that is? It's something that you've probably used outside and you've drawn with, probably on your driveway or your sidewalk. Have you thought of what it is? Sidewalk chalk. That's right. So they are very similar to the chalk pastels to sidewalk chalk. It's pretty fun. So you could actually even take these outside and try them out on your sidewalk. They would work the same. So pretty cool, except this is the inside version of sidewalk chalk. And you want to make sure that as you're drawing, again, to use that cover paper. So that cover paper is literally just going to cover up any of your artwork that you have already done to make sure that you don't mess it up and maybe stick your hand in it or smudge it in there, because you are creating a masterpiece and you don't want to ruin that. So you got to make sure that you protect it. So put that paper on over top to make sure that you're really careful and that nothing gets messed up or ruined. And also, as you're creating, you'll probably notice a lot of loose powder coming off of your picture as you're drawing. So you can always tap that off, just like I did right there with any of that loose powder. Make sure that you don't blow that, because that's going to go everywhere and you do not want that to happen. It's going to be a big mess to clean up, and I'm sure that your mom or your dad or whoever's house you are at creating, they're not going to be too happy with you. So be careful with that. Just leave it on your picture, on your table right there after you've tapped it off, and then once you're done you can clean it all up. So as I am creating here, I'm just going to spread out the different colors, making sure that I have all the colors that I want in all the areas that I want. I'm going to leave a couple of them black and blank, just because I like the look of having some of those be empty and just to be black and to kind of let your eye kind of rest. That's what we would call that, is a little space to kind of have it rest. And so as you're working, you may decide that you want to have some black areas still left, or you may decide too that you want to fill it all in. It is totally up to you. Just remember to, again, have fun with it. Create how you want to, however you want to make it look. It's totally up to you. So make sure that if you need more time to finish anything up, you pause the video, you take as much time as you need, or even if you need a break, you're totally welcome to pause the video and come back to it another day. We will be right here waiting for you where you left off when you come back. So you can do that if you would like. Just pause that video, wash your hands, maybe put your picture aside, put it in a safe place that it won't get messed up or anything, or maybe your cat or dog won't touch it if you have one. So that way it is ready to go and you can finish creating and finish your work whenever you need to. Maybe you have even thought of a different drawing technique that I have not shown you today. So if you have, oh my goodness, I would love to see that. So you can always make sure to tag us within your finished product. I would love to see all of your finished pieces and your masterpiece that you've created. Send us a picture of it. You can tag us on social media at Colorfull Official on Instagram or on our Facebook page. So we would love to see your finished pieces. So just like my piece here that I'm working on is unique to me, just like me, your piece will be as well. So yours isn't going to look just like mine. So I would love to see it because it will be like a whole new surprise because I have not seen it yet. So please send me a picture. And a great thing about this art project is because of all of the fun colors and movement going around within it and all these fun swirly curly lines going on and shapes, it just makes me feel so happy and excited. I don't know if you feel that too, but one thing about art is it can make us feel different things. Have you ever noticed that before? Sometimes we look at artwork and it can make us feel a little sad. Or sometimes we look at artwork and it makes us feel happy. But artwork can make us feel these different things. So within my artwork, it just makes me feel almost excited and really happy and kind of like I want to just do a little dance and have a little dance party. So I don't know about you, that's what I feel within this piece of artwork. So maybe you feel something different with yours. So I would love to know what you also feel with that. And as you finish up, so once you have filled in all the different areas that you want to, you're just going to go back through and kind of start adding some of those final details and clean up just to make sure that it's exactly how you want it. So remember that first line sketch that we put in? Yeah, well, we're going to go back over that with our black oil pastel. So we're just going to go and do an outline. Outline means we are putting a line on the outside of all of the different areas. So you're going to draw a line separating all of those different areas, the different sections here that we had from before. So this is going to help bring our picture to life even more and really show the different areas between, say, the different colors there. So this is going to be one of our final steps within our picture. So go over all the different outlines that you have, adding that in with your black oil pastel. So our black oil pastel is different than our chalk pastels. So if you've noticed, the chalk pastels are really soft, smooth, almost powdery. And with the oil pastels, they're a lot more harder and almost like a crayon even. So I'm going to be going through and just outlining all those different areas here as if I was tracing back over those lines that I drew at the beginning. So go back over the whole thing. Once you have finished that outline, we're going to go back through, and if you have any black sections left of your paper showing, we're going to clean that up with our paper towel just to make sure that we don't have any smudges going on with other colors. And then we're going to show you a final step that you're going to do on your picture to make sure that it doesn't get smudged and your colors don't bleed, because again, you've probably noticed that you can blend chalk pastels, which is great whenever you're working with them, but whenever you're finished, you don't want any of that color to go anywhere at all. So if you touch it, you don't want that to be smudged and ruin your picture or get blue and purple and green chalk pastel color everywhere. So we're going to show you a final step that's going to help seal your picture so it does not smudge anything. And I'm just using that cover picture, that cover piece of paper over top again to make sure that I don't smudge any of my picture as well, and put my hand in it and drag it up. This picture also, after looking at it, kind of reminds me of the circus. So don't know if you kind of feel that too or get reminded of the circus as well, but I definitely feel like this has some circusy . So maybe after you've finished your picture, you may want to start on another one, and you totally can. You can create as many of these as you would like. Maybe you want to experiment and try out some different ways, different colors, different swirly type of lines that you can do to fill them in. So you are welcome to do that. Create as many as you would like and just have fun with it. Okay, my picture is just about finished up. Is yours? Okay, I went and cleaned off my hands to make sure that they're all clean. So now that my fingers are ready to go, nice and clean, no more chalk pastel, I am going to be taking that paper towel and just putting that on the black sections just to kind of wash off any color that may have gotten smudged on there. So if you have any black areas still on your picture, you can do that. So I like to leave it blank, like these sections black and blank. So you're welcome to do that, or you can fill them in however you wanted to. But if you have them still there, you can use that paper towel to kind of wipe off any extra color that may have gotten on. Okay, what do you think? Are you finished with your picture yet? Are you ready for that final step? Once you have finished it completely, you don't want to change anything or add anything else to it, you're going to grab a little bit of hairspray. Yes, I said hairspray. And you're going to spray that on over top of it. The hairspray, just like how it makes our hair not move, it's also going to protect our picture and make the color not move. So you're going to do that, wait for a little bit, and then you are all finished. So thank you so much for creating with me today. I hope you had an awesome time. I know I sure did. So we'll see you guys back here next time. And there is the finished piece. So have a good time and thanks for creating with me.